All right, so here we go again. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of this like throughout the future when progressives are starting to get more traction and start to win more seats. We're going to be seeing the same BS from corporate Democrats every single time. And don't fall for the lie. Do not fall for the, hey, this is a big tent. We got enough room for everybody. Don't believe the lie that, we're here to build a coalition. So it doesn't matter if you agree with us on everything. We're here on the same team. And our main goal is to fight Republicans, fight Donald Trump. Do not believe the lie. Do not believe the wolf in sheep's clothing. Because the same people, the same establishment that had enough room for Cheney, that has enough room for billionaires, seem to not have enough room for progressives, for democratic socialists. And if you don't know what that is, please go ahead and look that up, then come back. But they have room for Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, but no room for a Mamdani. And in this video, Claire Valdez, no, they don't want these kind of people. And I told you once, I'm gonna tell you again, I need you to understand this. It's like mixing oil and water. The policies that progressives advocate for literally undercut liberals' intentions, what they're trying to build, the status quo. It literally tries to undercut that when it comes to getting money out of politics. Liberals, moderates, centrists, they don't like that. When it comes to challenging the status quo, healthcare, education, they don't want that. When it comes to a wealth tax, we know neoliberals, they're protecting the capitalist. They're protecting their profits and their margins and their shareholders. When it comes to cutting aid from Israel, because we know Republicans and corporate Democrats are beholden to Israel for whatever reason, right? So it only makes sense that they're only threatened by progressives and not Republicans. And if you don't believe me, make that make sense. Harris walking around with Cheney, but yet what we're about to see is them being actively aggressive towards other Democrats. But without further ado, let's go ahead and tune into CNN. And yes, this is CNN. This is what you're going to get. But as progressives, we need to be able to engage in these kind of conversations, whether it's uncomfortable or not. This is where the conversation is heading. So let's get into it. Hey, I got a question just for you. Do you want to walk into a room and say absolutely nothing, but you want people to know that you're a person with integrity, principle, and standards? Well, don't worry. I got something special just for you. Every design in my store represents progressive values proudly. I focus on quality, comfort, and durability because if you're going to be representing what you believe, your gear should last long. More than just a shirt, it's a statement that stands for workers over corporations, people over profits, and democracy over fascism, injustice over indifference. This apparel was made by a progressive and is only for progressives. So click the link down below and use the code PROGRESSIVE to get 20% off your first purchase and wear what you believe proudly. Now back to the video.
As a reflection of are the fact that New Yorkers are hungry for a new kind of politics.
Two of the Mamdani-backed candidates knocked off incumbent House Democrats, and two ran as Democratic socialists. One of them, Claire Valdez, is my next guest. She's a state assemblywoman who supports policies which include universal rent control, Medicare for all, shrinking the private sector, growing the public sector, abolishing ICE, and ending all arms sales to Israel and supporting Palestinian statehood. Out front
Now,
now.
Reading this right here, tell me where this is radical. Tell me where this is like one step too far for you. Tell me where this is going to destroy America as we know it. Which one of these policies? Because if you really want to know, none of this is radical. If anything, this is past due. We should have been handled something like this years ago, decades ago. But no, this is the crazy radical policies these corporate Democrats are afraid of, which is hilarious. Medicare for all, yeah, we can't have that around here. We can't be, I don't know, treating everybody without making money, right? Okay, got you. Okay.
State Assemblywoman Claire Valdez, and this is her first national interview since her win. And obviously, it's a win that has sent shockwaves through the Democratic Party, through the Republican Party, you name it. Assemblywoman, what do you think? Now you've had not even 24 hours here. What do you think your victory means?
I think it means that the movement that elected Zoran Mamdani last year continues, and that the movement that has been fighting for working class New Yorkers for years before his election continues. We have a lot to win. And when we go to working people, when we say, this is our platform, we want to fight for you, we want to fight to abolish ICE and win Medicare for all, to make your lives more dignified and affordable, to empower workers, that resonates with people and we win. And so I'm very proud of the campaign.
It's interesting in the context when you talk about housing and affordability, how central that is. And obviously in Washington, that bipartisan bill was torpedoed today by the president because he wants his voting bill. He is seizing, though, as are other Republicans, on your victory and other victories by Democratic Socialists here in New York as a negative. Let me just play some of what they've said.
Well, they're going radical left. They're going really, you talk about the Democrat Socialists. It's really communist.
These are the times that Reagan was warning about. He was warning about communism overseas. Now it is on our own shores.
Call it the Bolshevik Revolution of 2026, but the Mamdani takeover of the Democrat Party is official now.
Okay, now I'm just going through here, and Trump using the word communist, Mike Johnson using the word communism. Is that a badge of honor to hear them talk like that?
I'm a proud Democratic Socialist, and for what that means for me is that my union taught me that when we organize together, we can take on bad bosses, we can win good wages, we can win dignified working conditions. And it's funny that they would invoke Reagan, who famously decimated the labor movement, attacked after Patco. Really set the tone for what the federal government has done to the labor movement over the last, decades. My goal in running for office was always, how do we get as many people as possible into unions? How do we pass the PRO Act? How do we stand on the side of working people so that they have the power to fight for themselves and their coworkers and their neighbors? And that's the movement that I come out of, and I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Okay.
And that is the key word. Power back to the people. Well, I guess that's keywords, not keyword. Keywords. Power back to the people. And if just to zoom out here, Republicans and Democrats, they do not want that. They want to maintain the consolidation of wealth and power to the very few because that benefits them. I mean, that's pretty simple. But no, having union rights, right? Like, that's so radical. Like in 2026, how dare you as a worker feel that you have rights? Okay, I mean, maybe that's just crazy me.
So
okay.
That is what they're saying, all right? And you're talking about unions. But here's the thing. It's in the Democratic Party, too, right? There are a lot of people who are freaking out and are not happy about your victory and other victories. So, and there's a couple reasons for that. Israel's one of them, Palestinian statehood. So Josh Gottheimer, Democratic Congressman, he told CNN, obviously the socialists had a big win last night. The question is, are we going to let them take over the party, or are we going to stand up and fight back? Many of us believe, as I do, that if you're a socialist, you're not a Democrat. And two other prominent Democrats.
If you are a socialist, you are not a Democrat. I mean, let me this. I'm Googling real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, Democratic Party. Okay, got you. Okay, so I do not see where they get to choose what the Democratic Party represents. I mean, I'm Googling this, so maybe like there's some secret email that's being passed around that I don't know about. But the last time I checked, once again, the people get to decide where the party goes, not an empty suit and tie that has more sponsorships than NASCAR. I thought the voters get to decide who they want to represent them. But no, this guy said, no, we're going to fight back against what the people voted for. And you're telling me Republicans are the only threat? I mean, if you took that and used AI to have Trump say those exact words, you would think it's just Trump saying that. But no, that's another Democrat saying that. I need you to wake up, bro. Come on, wake up.
A senator, one a prominent strategist that you've probably known of your whole life, have also come out for other reasons criticizing. Here they are.
The dirtbag left is having their moment.
And understand, these people do not like Democrats. Not only are they not Democrats, they wish Democrats poorly.
Okay, there's a lot in there. Let's just start with
sure.
James Carville. Do you wish, not only are you not a Democrat, you wish Democrats poorly, is what he's saying. Is that true?
What I wish is for working class people to have the dignity, the wages, the protections that they deserve. And if the Democratic Party is willing to stand for Medicare for all, is willing to fight for abolishing ICE and bringing them, the billions, trillions of dollars we spend on forever wars back into our communities, then that's the Democratic Party I want to be part of. That's what we're fighting for in these races. And I think we saw over the last, several weeks, months, as progressives around the country are winning, and last night, that this is what the working class and the Democratic electorate is also hungry for.
So,
and to add on to that, I'm sorry, like her answer was very good. Very like past the BS, not trying to continue the friction, the unneeded friction. So that was a very clear cut, back to the people answer. But let me add on a little to it, because I ain't got to worry about that, okay? I ain't here to try to make friends. I'm just here as a progressive to advance this movement. The establishment Democrats do not need anybody's help to make them look bad. I mean, they are, as a party whole, their approval ratings is almost worse than Trump's. How do you make that happen? The guy who started a war and now about to give over $300 billion, how is your approval rating almost as worse as his? Doesn't make any sense. But no, progressives wish poorly on Democrats. They can do that all by themselves. And second off, yes, we're coming. We're taking this over, whether you like it or not. Either get with it or get lost. Get with it or get stepped on. And trust me, I got some big feet. I'm stepping all over you. Simple. But yeah, let's continue.
You have a point there. Then when you listen to Senator Fetterman, the dirtbag left is having their moment. Obviously, when it comes to an issue like Israel, right, he is diametrically opposed to where you stand. But I mean, can you recognize that the two of you are even in the same party?
It's a big party. It's a big tent party. And I think what's important for me right now is saying that we won with a mandate in this race. We won across the entire district, and that the message that we had at the doors resonated. People want affordability. They want politicians who will stand up against ICE, who will stand up against forever wars, and who want to see the resources that we pour into agencies that do not make us safer back into our neighborhoods, in hospitals, and in healthcare, in education, the things that actually make lives dignified and beautiful here in New York 7.
So, and there's affordability. There's also the issue of Israel, and I want to follow on that just because obviously Congressman Gottheimer's talked about that a lot as well. Is the party big tent enough that you can be in the same party where you support Palestinian statehood and are talking about genocide with people who support arms sales to Israel and Israel's actions in this war and in Lebanon? Is the tent big enough to include a John Fetterman and a you on that issue?
Once again, such a weird question. And sometimes, like, I don't know, like, I never worked in a media platform like this, so I don't know if this is her questions or if she has to ask these questions, but maybe something should be asked before these stupid questions. Ask yourself, if this is the Democratic Party that brags and boasts about trying to make this a big tent as possible, reaching out to Cheneys and Republicans, you can have billionaires in your same tent. But yet, we're asking, can another Democrat who ran under as a Democrat, can they fit under this same tent? You're telling me you can advocate for Republicans, but not progressives? Such a weird question, but let's listen to her answer.
What I'd say is that the people who do not agree with me that we should not be aiding and abetting a genocide and occupation, that the Democratic electorate does not reflect that position by far and large. The Democratic electorate wants to see us pull resources away from that and again put them back into our communities. They don't want to see our tax dollars going to fund a genocide, apartheid, occupation. They're tired of that. And we heard this over and over again at the doors. But this is an opinion that is reflected across the entire country. It's not just in New York City. And I think that Democrats would be well advised to listen to the people who put them in their offices when they say that.
All right, Assemblywoman Valdez, I appreciate your...
Hey, she said Democrats will be well advised to listen to the same people that put you in that seat. That seat doesn't belong to you. It is rented out. You have to earn that seat every single election. Democrats don't owe you nothing. And just like she said, you better listen to the voters. The voters are speaking loud and clear. And they can try to make it seem like it's not a big deal all they want. Hakeem Jeffries, all these other people like, nah, whatever the case is, it's really nothing. Mamdani, who's Mamdani? I forgot all about him. I don't know. The more they continue to play stupid, the more they're going to start to see these seats start to be taken over. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Trust me, I am going to sleep well tonight and here on out. Because if it's one thing I know, the Democratic Party, the establishment, the corporate Democrats, one thing that they are consistent in, they will never let you down, is they're going to stick to their guns. They're going to stick to the same old game play. I mean, they have for decades. They're going to continue to put their donors first. They're going to continue to, hail Israel. They're going to continue to push their policies and the platform closer to the right to try to, I guess, gain Republican voters. They're going to continue to do that. And every step of the way, I need progressives all across the country to step up and take these seats. because it is yours for the taking. That's simple.
I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you